Hello, fabulous friends and fans. Welcome to this special series video. I am your astrologer, Nadiya Shah. I really do enjoy so much the questions that you guys have where it comes to astrology. I'm so grateful to be some small part of your sacred journey as well, and your trust truly means so much to me. I love our interactions on Facebook, Twitter, Google+, my website, nadiyashah.com, YouTube comments as well. And one question that I'm asked a lot, I've been doing these special series videos so I can answer some questions out there. And one question that's been answered that's been asked quite a bit has to do with being born on a cusp. So I do want to just flesh that out a little bit. Being born on a cusp, what video are you going to watch? What does it mean to be born on a cusp? Now, here's the thing with being born on a cusp. The sun travels a path, okay? Spends about 1 degree, like the sky is divided into 360 degrees, and spends about 1 degree per day. On any given day, will travel a single degree of any given sign, and will be in a particular sign for 30 days, traveling those 30 degrees. If you are born right on a cusp, okay, you are born either at the very, very end of one sign or the very, very beginning of the other sign, okay? You are not really, just from a sun sign perspective, okay, you're not both signs. You are either one or the other, and the sun represents where it is. To me, the sun is about the path that you're walking to step into your light. It's about the path that you walk to find your center, to find your core, where it is that you come to understand what it is that you're meant to shine, and where it is that you feel like you're glowing, you feel like you're shining most. And these are character traits that we step into more and more. We develop them over the course of our life based on how we direct our will. That's how I understand the sun sign. The thing is that the sun, that's what the sun represents. It's a very active principle. Venus and Mercury travel quite close to the sun. They're never more than 2 signs away from the sun. And so what I have seen is that people born, either very late in one sign or very early in another, but will have Mercury and Venus placed strongly in the other sign, the sign not of their sun. And they say, you know what, I was born on it, I'm probably technically this, but I really feel like I'm the other sign. For example, if you are born in the sign of, if you're born right at the very, very end of Scorpio, and you have your Venus and your Mercury in the sign of Sagittarius, well, Mercury is and represents in a birth chart, your Mercury sign represents how your brain works, how you perceive things, how you think, the way that you like to think, the way that you speak, how you like to communicate. All of that is covered under the sign of your Mercury, the sign that Mercury was in at the time of your birth. And so it's sort of the ease with which, when you're most at your easiness and you're communicating, you're talking, it is the manner in which you go about it. The coat that part of your soul that needs to understand things on an intellectual level. It is what it wears. It's the energy, the way that energy manifests comes through the sign. With Venus, well, Venus is, of course, love, yes, but it's also pleasure. It is what we find beautiful in others, in ourselves as well. It's how we go about enjoying life, and where it is that we feel the most love, where we enjoy our life the most, when we're really riding in that energy and we're cultivating that energy. And so the sign that Venus is in is going to speak to all of that. It can also speak to, depending on different factors, some say depending on your own gender, depending on what gender you're attracted to, depending on how that particular Venus is placed. It can also speak to what you're attracted to in a mate as well. And so all of that becomes expressed through your Venus sign. So If you have strongly placed Mercury and Venus, and what I mean by that is these planets are speaking with a lot of other planets in very tight orbs or tight conversations. So again, if you're not an astrology student, what I mean by that is every planet in your chart may, or sometimes may not, be having conversations or making aspects to other planets. When those aspects are in very close numbers, very close degrees, we call that a tight orb. When it's in a very tight orb, that conversation is stronger than if that planet were having a conversation with another planet that was in a wider sort of, wasn't in exactly a mathematical precision by number. That would be called a wide orb. So that conversation wouldn't be as dominant. And it also depends on how many planets that Venus would be speaking with as well. So depending on how active your Venus is in your chart, is it speaking to a lot of other planets? Is it speaking in a way with very tight orbs? Is it the chart ruler? Is it the ruling planet of the sun? All of these are going to tell you how dominant that energy is going to be for you. So if you've got a very active Mercury and Venus in Sagittarius, then chances are, especially in your early life, especially before you have your Saturn return at 28.5 years, you are going to feel very much like a Sag. And you are going to be looking at the sky from the perspective of mind, from the perspective of heart, not necessarily yet from that perspective of self-knowledge and stepping into yourself. However, the horoscopes, when viewed from the perspective of the sun sign, are designed to empower you, are designed to help you tap into the energy of your will, help you tap into the energy of what you need to do or develop or understand, or how you can help yourself to step into your light, step into your center, step into your power as well. So ultimately, the sun is a very important placement in a chart. The sun does represent important things, and you either are one sun sign or the other. How able you are to access that energy is going to depend on a lot of factors. What's happening in nearby signs in terms of Mercury and Venus. Also, I do want to share that if your sun is at 0 degrees, so the sun can be at the very end of one sign, which is said to be 29 degrees, or the very beginning of the next sign, which is said to be 0 degrees. When a planet, when the sun is at 0 degrees, it is as if it has stepped into this energy, but it doesn't know what to do with it yet. So the sun has just newly stepped into this new sign. It's like, okay, boom, I'm this new sign. But what does that mean? How do I work with this? How do I express this? How do I manifest this? That might not be the easiest thing. And again, it may take a major celestial event like the Saturn return to actually trigger enough self-knowledge to then see, okay, yes, this is an energy that I want to develop. This is an energy that can help me. This is an energy that helps me feel more comfortable with myself, that helps me feel a sense of like, I'm seeing things in myself that I like. I'm seeing things in myself that I respect. That's ultimately what the sun sign is about. When you've got that 0 degree, it takes a little bit of time. It takes a little coaxing, really, to bring that energy forward. But once you do, there's a lot of power there to be had. And keep in mind, as I said, you're either one sign or you're the other. And so I would say that, and I've made videos before about watching horoscopes based on your North Node sign, based on your Venus sign. When you're watching horoscopes for the sign that is not of your sun, so let's say you're watching the horoscope, let's say you're born on a cusp, you're 0 degree Sag, but you're watching horoscopes for Scorpio. Well, you've got Venus and you've got Mercury in the sign of Scorpio. Chances are that if you're watching, you're going to relate to those the Scorpio horoscopes, because what is happening for Scorpions is speaking to your Venus, is speaking to your Mercury. So you're actually watching it from the perspective of your Mercury sign, the perspective of your Venus sign. However, eventually, with a little bit of awareness, eventually you are going to get to the place where once you really start thinking, okay, I want to tap into that sun energy. I want to understand my light. I want to shine it. Once you start tapping into that part of you, you are going to find that the Sagittarius horoscopes resonate with you a lot more as well. There's an element here that has to do with degrees I also want to share. And I know that sometimes like people have said, you know, I'm born right at the end of my sign. You said that great things are going to happen. For example, right now, as I'm recording this, Jupiter is moving through the sign of Leo. Let's say you're born with a 29 Leo sun. So you're born right at the end. It may take you a little longer. It may be as Jupiter's rearing the end of this year-long transit for you to experience the full benefit of that energy. Because at the end of it, what's going to happen is Jupiter will actually meet your sun. So every Leo out there, one by one, is going to get Jupiter visiting their sun, moving over their sun. And that tends to be the peak moment, the high moment, depending on where the sun is for you, what degree your sun is at. But having said that, just the fact that Jupiter's in your sign right now, you're going to feel that lift. You should be feeling that energy. And that is energy that you certainly can tap into. Sometimes it does take a little bit of awareness, but with just a little bit of awareness and an understanding that the sky is there, it is a mirror to help you gain clarity, but ultimately it is a gift. It is one more way that the universe attempts to speak to us so that we can fully manifest the greatest love and the greatest wisdom that we're possible of cultivating in this lifetime. Once you understand that, then you're able to more readily tap into the energies around you and use them very much to your advantage. Well, thank you so much, everybody, for your questions. I absolutely love them. Please keep them coming. Facebook, Twitter, Google+, YouTube comments, and of course, my website, nadiyashah.com. I'm truly so grateful for your trust and to be some small part of your sacred journey. Thank you. Until we connect again, take care.